to see the rest of your ink, shall we?
I've only had the blacks done on Batman.
Very nice.
But yeah, it needs a bit of cream on it at the minute.
A bit of cream.
A bit of cream.
Do you want some lotion?
We'll save that for the after drama. In fact, we could incorporate that in drama.
One thing that I've got is lotion.
Let me tell you something. I have an accoutrement.
I have a selection
lotions.
of lotions. I can make you smell like huckleberry and Finnegan's Foot, which is very rare herb. Very rare.
Wow.
Herb, and ultra delicious.
What about the Star of Anise?
No, actually, I'm more of a honeysuckle gentleman.
Really? I pegged you as a mint lavender.
I tell you what my favourite bath stuff is. Cherry. Straight
Really?
up, no messing around,
No
bit
way.
of cherry.
I'm old school, man. I like lavender.
No, I'm cherry all the way. I just like the sweetness. I like the sweet. I
What
want
about
people
mango body butter?
I have used body butter on many an occasion, I'll be honest.
Well,
You know why? Because these hands are not made for labouring.
these hands are made for loving.
I want to be Nivea soft.
Exactly.
Every time I touch somebody.
I want to shake your hand and you go, ooh.
Oof. I want people to
Damn.
caress. Although I don't have a manicure. My nails are... They're angular.
Do you know what you
They're
can use
angular.
though? Can I just say? You know what you can use is the fact that Suzanne and Emma got those manicure sets.
They did.
I've had 4.
Have you
since.
really?
I have.
Can I see
I'm in need
nails?
of one now. I'm in need of one now.
Yeah, you've got jagged edges
Yeah.
like me. And that's from... We use square clippers like men.
Really?
Square
I do
clippers.
not anymore. If
Really?
I am in need of said manicure, I will buy.
Oh, I'm not a biter.
can't
No,
help
there's
it.
things on your nails that just... They don't need to be eaten. You know what I mean? There's things under the nails that we don't need to be
I've
eaten.
had worse in my mouth.
Yeah, me too. In 3, in 2, in 1. You made me think of all horrible things now that I've had in my mouth.
I bet they did. But it was a nice guy on the end of it though.
He treated me proper like a gentleman.
Keep it playing again. Put it on again.
No! Welcome to Drama Saturday! Welcome everybody! Ghosty's here, Spider-Man in tow. We had issues yesterday and issues tonight. No web show, so we'll be teaming up on a Saturday for a get-together with me and you and him and you and all of us together forming a threesome, a synergization of love. Do you feel it?
Synergy, mate.
Do you feel it? I'm smelling like cherry. He's smelling like lavender. That's awesome, yeah? Together we are a creamy cake puff. Welcome everybody! It is in fact drama time. Drama time's getting a little bit towards... I've read lots of stories this week. I'll be honest, I read a lot of stories because you sent quite a smattering, yeah, if I could be so bold. And there was a lot of love stories in there. And we are moving away from the love story idea because they're really depressing.
Good.
They're really depressing. Some of them are like, and then she called me a bitch.
You totally getting a different mindset from me.
Do you
I
love
can
it?
I can see
Do
you
you
being
love
the
it?
sympathy shoulder, whereas I'd be like, motherfucker up!
No, like and then she just logged in and she said, "Fuck you, leave me alone." I was devastated forever, and I deleted my account and all that. I was like, "Oh my god, I don't need to read that kind of stuff."
Do you know what you need?
I really don't.
You need a sad violin sound effect.
We can acquire such things.
I'll get right on
Well,
that.
you get right on
Okay.
that. Although you've got no props today, which is both bogus and sad. Both bogus and sad. Right! Today, though, I've lined 3 stories up for you, and we'll probably have a little after show, which won't be on the YouTubes, but we'll have a chit-chat, because there is no web show. I have a story from a woman's perspective who agrees that she was, in fact, Mr. Ghost.
The Star Diva.
She was a diva. Also, we're going to take it over to the roleplay with transatlantic roleplay, and then I'm going to bring you right back. Right back. I'm going to take you to the Star Diva, and I'm going to take you to some roleplay, and then I'm going to go to an unfortunate start to World of Warcraft.
That is beautifully displayed. By
And
the way,
that, because of this one word, signified its importance to the drama.
is from the Swee.
It's sweet. It's sweet in nature. We're starting sweet, so we're going that slut story. What? Oh, it's a girl? Slut story. You guys. Unbelievable. That is beautiful presentation by whoever wrote the unfortunate start to it, isn't it? Isn't it? When you put a bit of effort like that into it, I think it's delicious. So, Mr. Ghosty, if you'll be so kind as to pick some people. We
You need to
need...
give me. Go on, go for it.
We need a hunter.
Tobez.
Tobez. We need a mage.
Zardia.
Can you pick easier names?
No.
You make it so much harder. And another random marge.
Breakfast.
That's easiest enough to remember.
Right, I'm gonna up the game.
That's it.
Oh!
I scuppered you at the last minute. I scuppered you. Right, okay. I need to get into this. This is told from the ladies' perspective, which is the best perspective, I think. 'Cause the ladies, they tend to get beaten up on drama time. Sometimes. Not actually. That would be bad. But they don't.
Ladies, they tend to get put in their place. Taken down a peg or two.
No, I'm not even saying that. I mean, the ladies tend to get put in a bad light. Despite the fact they might be nice people. But it can happen. Hey, Preacher, I've been placed as vanilla. And even managed to clear Blackwing Lair on my sub-human rogue.
Does that mean like he's just...
No, he's played sub.
Oh, right. I thought it was like no one liked him.
Before my re-roll, just to give you an idea of what kind of person I was. The story takes place in the Burning Crusade. Being a fairly insecure girl at the time, I decided to re-roll my chubby bald human to a pretty blood elf paladin. Now, that strikes me that she wasn't getting enough girl attention. Does that not strike you? Who is picking the fat bald human when they get to that guy's select screen?
Oh, she picked by choice.
By choice, she went with a fat bald human. And then she decided, I'm going to turn it back to a pretty blood elf paladin.
Yeah, I'm female. I want people to know it.
Yeah, not enough people are registering my breasts.
Yeah.
And it's not appearing on the scale. Let's go, blood elf. I managed to get to level cap within 3 weeks of the release. Slack. Yeah? TBC, we had those paladins capped week 1. Just saying. Once I got to 70, I decided to get back into raiding again. And ended up in the server's top guild. But I didn't stay long because casting Flash of Light over and over on the undergeared tank seemed rather pointless to me. And I was yelled at overvent if I stopped casting Flash of Light or tried to heal the raid. You have one job. That's your job.
Let's do this.
But you used to be a baller and was like holy shock and shit. Remember?
Mate.
Like
you wouldn't believe.
Mate.
Yeah?
Mate.
I was like dual wielding heals.
You were fucking all over the goddamn place. Which was all... Look at this cunt who wants a ban.
Fuck off.
Cunt slapped.
Yeah.
Cunt slapped.
Suck a dick.
So we're in the Burning Crusade. We're casting Flash of Light. Holy was pretty much the only choice if you wanted to raid at the time. Not true. Since a lot of opinions on classes carried over from vanilla. I didn't stay for long enough to clear Gruul's lair though, and I was quickly picked up by a lesser guild because of my experience and gear. And this is where my drama began.
Oh, here we go.
I was quickly getting bored with healing again, and had taken up PvP as a rep paladin.
You talked about this the other day, and people denied that.
What?
I'm sure it was
That when people give up or get kicked, they go over to
PvP.
And that happens all the time.
Yeah, but all the comments in the YouTube. Well, no, not necessarily it doesn't. But the next instance of someone leaving a guild that actually comes up after that video is they go to PvP.
It happens all the time.
You need a thug life thing, like I have.
What do you mean? You got one?
When I do something fucking legit, I've got it queued up on YouTube, the clip of that song, and then I flitch over at the camera that's got Thug Life written in like a thug font, and I just pull a face until the song finishes, and then I carry on going again.
Wow. Well, that's a
thing. You should up your game a little bit, put a bit of effort in your work.
Okay. So she went PvP, which never happens. The guild leader, though, Tobez, had noticed me PvPing, along with my lacking raid attendance, and asked if I wanted to raid as a rep paladin instead. As anyone will tell you, rep was barely any better than a survival hunter at the time. But I wanted to give it a try. And respect, I managed to gear up quickly with some rep gear and going to every Karazhan raid I could. Barely managed to stay above the bottom of the DPS meters until tier 5, where I started to pass even the best rogues in the guild on single target deeps. Best rogues in the guild.
It kind of like emanates the tone.
The important line there, yes, the important line is in the guild. Yeah,
that's what I mean. Yeah.
That's the thing you've got to take away from that. Is taken away from that. My performance and spotless attendance eventually landed me an officer position. You turn up all the time, officer.
Well done.
Which basically meant managing the paladin buffs. What was that add-on? Do you remember that add-on that had Salve, Kings, and Wisdom? Yeah. And you had to track it and you got assigned it. This was also a huge issue since a couple of the paladins never updated their add-ons. She's got one job as the paladin officer, which is to manage buffs, and it's hard. It's a difficult job. I had to whisper them what buff they were assigned, and when it was time to rebuff, by the time we got to... Do you remember 5-minute paladin buffs?
Yeah, before Greater.
Greaters
were only
5-minute paladin buffs. Pally Power.
Pally
Yeah,
Power.
Pally
No,
Power.
you assigned what you were going to buff into it, and then basically you had to just press one button and it'd do it. I don't.
Oh, was it
understand.
automatic as well?
I
It
think
chose
so,
for
yeah,
you?
yeah.
Like decursive? Fuck,
Kind
I
of.
missed decursive.
Dude, that was so good.
Decursive. Done. By the time we got to Mount Hajal, it was decided by the rest of the officers that I would have to respec to protection, as all the other paladins were needed for healing. I really disliked the idea at first, but after getting all the tier 5 tokens I could, along with any other gear I might need for tanking, I was more than okay with the idea.
Fair enough.
I did get a lot of loot though.
I got a full tanking set, but I was still pissed off that I had to tank.
It does remind me though of me and you, because we were holy paladins having to tank the fish boss,
I was just going to say Lurker
Morogrim, and
Yeah.
we had to wear the most
That weren't
obscene
Fish Boss, was it?
combinations of
Lurker
gear.
below.
No, we didn't tank that. We tanked Morogrim when the Murlocs came.
Yes, we did.
Me
with
and you, the
bubbles
holy
and
paladins,
shit.
had to switch to it. Yeah, that's fucking horrible. At this point, a new guild had transferred to the server though, and had started to recruit a lot of our core raiders. Being known on the server as a main spec rep paladin, I was never asked to join, and I was stuck with a half-full raid team. This was an issue for a while, but we eventually managed to recruit new raiders, and we would again go on endless Karazhan runs to gear up our new recruits. I was put in charge of Team 2! Team 2! I've got a job for you.
Now, hey, this is responsibility.
I know you've respect for us twice, and we've geared you up, but now is your time to shine.
Would you be the arsehole after assigning that? After she's obviously now really upset that she's leading Team 2. It's like, I didn't hear a, you're welcome.
Wait though, the story
Somebody-
thickens.
Oh, really?
It thickens like the wall of a vagina. I managed to change its name to Group 1.
But we're Group 1. Now there's 2 Group 1s.
Yeah, wait a minute. Fuck you, 2 Group 1s. By challenging Group 1 to a race to the top of Karazhan. Serious fucking business. Serious business. By this point, I was quickly gaining a bit of an ego, since I was needed for every Mount Hyjal raid. Have you ever... Raiding Mount Hyjal without a Proddin is the worst thing ever. And I had managed to gear up half the raiders in the guild. Approximately 10 of them in a Karazhan raid. This is where the drama started. Being the main tank for Mount Hyjal and top of the damage meters in Black Temple, I was every raid leader's nightmare. We were working our way up to Archimonde one day, but a wipe on trash before Asgalor had ruined my mood. One of the mages had to leave for some reason. I didn't care. And a new mage was brought into the raid, and we moved on.
Just before you carry on, how quickly did her ego and self-importance just escalate in that tiny paragraph?
It gets bad.
Does it?
Oh, it does. It gets real bad. Wow. At this point, I was a straight-up diva, and I'm not afraid to admit it. One of the guild stipulations to me tanking was that I got the star raid marker.
That's pathetic.
Read that.
Because I was the star of the raid.
And without the star...
There was no raid. God, you know what? Listen, hey, I rarely strike a woman.
Oh my God.
But... oh, God.
Oh my God, I love it. But it's such a girly thing to stipulate though, isn't it? Like, a guy would want the skull or something like that, but she wants the star. I need the star. I need it. This became an issue, as our poor new mage had set his polymorph macro to mark a star. Now, 2 fails there. One is that the star is definitely going to cause a problem, and one is CCing in Mount Hyjal. Pussies. I'm just saying, there was no CC in my Mount Hyjal.
Yeah, give her the nipple.
Motherfucker. If you CC'd around me or Erebus, you were in fucking trouble. Seriously. I remember tanking a large pack of ghouls the first time my star disappeared. She remembers it clear as day. Like it just disappeared. A split second later, my shrill voice went booming over vent. Who the fuck stole my star?
Jesus Christ, that's haunting.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what Emma sounds like every day.
That's
when I'm
like
upstairs.
the witch from Oz.
I hate it. Mike! like upstairs with a drill. It went dead silent as I asked again, doing my best to stay calm. It was quickly given back to me, and I got an apology from the mage class leader, who was Zardia, before the next wave came running up the hill. And again, my star disappeared. Now you're just fucking trolling me. She's not down for it. I asked on vent again, demanding to know which one of the mages had the nerve, no, the audacity to steal my star, stating that this was
a kickable offence.
You know what amazes me is people raid like that.
Yeah, but what caliber of raids like that?
People who wipe on Ascalor trash. Oh,
nice.
Shit!
Under the table.
Boom! Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Wipe on Ascalor trash, huh? Alright. That can happen, I guess. Again, I got the same silly excuse that the mage class leader Zardia would look into it. I'll have to check the logs and have it sorted before the next wave. This, of course, did not happen. As the star disappeared from my head for the third time, I had decided that we would not be downing any more bosses that night. That's it. It's over. 3 strikes. To be fair, 3-strike rule. She kept it chill for the first 2.
She's an officer at this point, right?
She's an officer. She's representing the guild. This is how the guild works, so deal with it. I didn't say a single word on vent for the last 2 waves of enemies before Asgalor showed his face. Zardia and a few other people were starting to get concerned, asking me if I was okay. Now that strikes me as you talk a fucking lot.
Yeah.
That strikes me as you talk a lot.
This bitch is a fucking chatty Cathy.
It's a chatty Cathy.
Yeah,
this is a chatty Cathy. I didn't respond. Their foolishness by having a macro which marks the polymorph target, which makes sense to me, was to be the death of them all. You will all die for this. I thought to myself as I saw Asgalor make his way towards us. I pulled the boss slowly into the middle of the raid. Things seemed to go okay, so I whispered a couple of people to stop their DPS periodically throughout the fight because their threat was getting too high. This was not true at all, but it was a means to an end. At about 15% we hit the enraged timer. Normally you could survive the enraged timer for long enough to down the boss, but it was not going to happen tonight. The instant I saw the enraged timer hit 10 seconds, I pressed my bubble half macro and left the raid. Smiling to myself as I heard the rest of the raid wipe slowly over vent, I didn't care at all. Once it had calmed down slightly, I whipped out the mommy voice and went, "Aww, did you guys make an oopsie?"
I'd stab that bitch
I
in the
would
face.
stab
I
that
would
motherfucker.
basically. I'd
Oh
use
my god!
every penny I had to stab her right in the throat.
Oh, I am on my way to where the fuck you live. Where in Sweden do you live, by the way? I'm on my way. Vent exploded, cursing me and telling me that it was my fault and I had to come back or I'd be kicked from the raid team. Good luck with that. Without me, you're stuck back in Karazhan, boosting someone who can't maintain Kajal for at least a month. If anyone should be kicked, it's the mage with the macro. If nobody stole my star, I would have stayed.
Right. That's the caliber of the guild right there. That is the caliber of the guild right there. You want to read it?
You can go ahead.
Shortly after, I saw the mage get kicked out of the guild.
Followed by the mage class leader asking if I would come back now. Oh, it's getting kind of late for me night now, but you guys should go practice jumping for Archimonde. I replied in a far too gloaty tone as I logged off for the night. I did get a stern talking to the next day by the guild master, but I didn't care. They needed me, and there was nothing they could do about it, so I continued to be a diva. Sunwell. We're going to the Sunwell. We're going. Once the Sunwell dropped, I even had everyone agree that we would not take in players, especially tanks who had any sort of justice gear, seeing as these were basically welfare epics, and they would have no idea how to play the game. This even covered the Of the Shattered Sun title, since it was bought, not earned.
Oh, that's true.
It doesn't mean you can't join a guild.
Hey!
Hey!
I see
Do
your
you?
title.
Have you? Whoa! You paid 1,000 gold for it. No.
Get out. No.
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 No. No. No. No. You are not welcome.
Your shenaniganery is not welcome.
Have you been doing dailies
Whoa.
on the
Look at
best
this
place
guy.
to earn gold in the game? Get out. With a secured spot for every raid, I was one of the few paladins in the Burning Crusade to break 2k DPS, topping in at 2.4 and Terran Garfiend. Ooh. What were rogues doing then? 4k? Yeah, okay.
Like
I managed to stay in the guild well into Wrath of the Lich King, where I eventually quit the game.
Oh, thank God.
Best guild.
Yeah.
How far did you get in Sunwell? Out of curiosity, just asking. Because it doesn't mention
how long-
anywhere at all, in fact.
Yeah, but also, how long is the gap between your Sunwell progression to... Hyjal progression to Sunwell release that no fucking idiot in the background thought, you know what, I'm going to level a prop paladin.
No, I'm gonna
Take every ounce of power out of this
No one
bitch.
went, I'm going to leave this guild.
Yeah, exactly!
You know what?
Quick a fig.
I'm going to leave
You
this
know what?
guild. You can keep
Fuck
it.
this place.
You can stay. I'm going to go. I now raid casually on my rep paladin and refuse to take any position of power within the guild to prevent me becoming a diva again. Good. I was a terrible person, and looking back at it, I don't understand why anyone would put up with me in the game. This is the end of the story. I kept my star for the remainder of my time in that guild. The mage class leader hated me intensely and eventually quit because he wanted the GM to kick me, but was told he couldn't kick his Hyjal tank. Fucking Hyjal though, right? Serious Hyjal. Should we RP?
Always.
Let's RP.
What kind of RP is it?
I don't really know.
Just before you get on to the next one, I'm just going to pop my jumper on because it's fucking
I
freezing
said that
in
to
here.
the audience that it was cold.
So cold.
I said that. Right. I need a GM, which will be
Wait!
Ryan. I'm doing it.
Let me do one then.
Alright, you can do your character, because we have a character each in this one.
Really?
Yes, we do.
Can I have a really cool name though?
You can pick whichever
I'm gonna
name you
go
want.
for it.
That's the freedom we have as hosts.
Alright, okay. I'm gonna
is
go
to
with
choose.
I'm gonna go with MacGyver.
You got it wrong. It's Managev.
No!
So you're MacGyver.
MacGyver!
Why do you want it to be MacGyver?
Because that's what it's called.
Alright, fair enough. This is based on a forum drama that ended up in a ban. If you can get banned on the forums, you're doing it right, is all I'm saying. You're doing something pretty correct. This isn't exactly in-game, but it took place on both the EU and the US forums. That's right, it spanned the big C, the big drink. It all comes down to an RP server on Moonguard US. The guild consists of a GM, Ryan, who talked about her overly large cup size and is a blood relation to Arthas Menethil. That was the RP server. That's the RP backstory. So, we back in the EU side were linked to this, and people were up in arms with this on the Argent Dawn EU. We do not like people RPing a role of power over others, such as royalty or relation to major lore characters, right?
Sounds like it's getting pimping up in here.
We don't like it.
We don't
You
like
can't
it.
RP superheroes, alright? Or relations. You cannot be Sylvanas Windrunner's illegitimate son. Can't do it. This all happened as we did, passing mockery towards them without them knowing, until a goblin warrior named Lovek suggested, "Hey, why doesn't someone go to their thread and criticize their RP concept?" Ooh, it's about to get very nerdy up in this bitch. I'm just saying.
Yes.
To which I, MacGyver, did. I paid my US account and gave them some criticism about their RP lore. Such as, are you ready? The Scarlet Crusade being around still.
Wow.
And I may have made a comment about her exaggerated bosom. Much to my pleasure, I got some hate from some guild members until the GM Ryan posted. The reply came. "Oh boy, did that kitty have claws?" She was very much not impressed with me coming along and criticising her guild concept. I wasn't that harsh, to be fair, but she ripped the shit out of me. Below is the post she made against me with some of the stuff
Just
I
before
said.
you carry on, this has actually got links as well, hasn't it?
It does have links. This
Nice.
legitimately happened.
Nice.
Okay. I shall play the role of the big-breasted GM, Ryan. I will admit that when I first heard there was a lot of angry Europeans rambling about things they didn't understand, I wondered why Mountain Blade Napoleonic War was being discussed. But much to my horror, I was linked to a page on a different server, in a different continent no less, where a lot of angry and uninformed children were rambling well on for 18 pages. My God, is this how you spend your lives? I personally don't mind if you want to trumpet whatever you wish for your myopic comments to mediocrity. But I do kindly, as it's not crime into my recruitment thread. That being said, as always, I like to treat these matters as a teachable moment, so that when someone else bumbles in after you've dealt with, they can read the results of this sort of unfathomable buffoonery.
Awesome.
And at the very least come up with something new. Okay, maybe that's a bit presumptuous. After all, most of what you've poorly spelled here has already been answered. It's just as likely the next fellow will repeat the things that will not be clarified upon for you! Exclamation point. And then you came in.
I am this guy, McGaver, and I say, hey! At least don't let one person controls everything RP. In fact, we criticize anyone who tries to. Perhaps you should look into having some freedom in your RP.
RP Warman. You should calm down when you type. This will allow you to think more clearly and also spell without smashing your big sausage fingers against so delicate an instrument. That being said, if you look at the first question in the FAQ, you can clearly see that no one is forced to do anything with this guild. No one is forced to do anything with any guild, naturally.
Oh, God.
The internal structuring of this guild deals only with itself and those that dedicate to roleplay within it. If you can prove an example where this did not hold, I would thank you to do so. However, if you cannot, perhaps it's time you stop typing the freedom in RP is the freedom to RP where you want, when you want, what you want, who you want, and with whomever you wish to do so. None of these things have been challenged. Perhaps this isn't your cup of tea. That's fine. Fish it out of the harbour, if you think we really care. Ooh!
Sassy.
Ooh!
Mm.
Ooh!
Mm.
Ooh!
Oh!
And then you came in.
Hey! I mean, claiming a bit of bloodline to a major lore character pretty much for goddamn fucking ego stroke. And if you've allowed this person to do so for years, well, congratulations on letting it get thus far.
Little clap. The RP war continues, my friends. Is it? Even by Madeline's own admission, her tenuous ties to the House of Menethil mean nothing. It was a way for her to gain power at one point, and when her own name became enough, for fear that Kalia might return one day, she wrote a big speech whereby she said that the House of Albrecht had replaced that of Menethil. I know, the nuance therein is a bit much for you, and it's easier to parrot things you know not of. I felt it would be best if you were made aware of it so you couldn't claim this ignorance in the future. You've been informed now, but I fear I cannot force you to be educated. All I've considered, once more, the guild's storyline deals primarily within the guild. I do also like to thank you, guild, for their ability to transcend the Stone Age of roleplay mentality. You're in the Stone Age of roleplay. That would have prescribed this sort of thing. The result is a thriving guild that produces inspirational concepts, prose and ideas. Conversely, you seem to be so enthralled by your own RP that you spend your time posting on a US server. I think you've done more to stroke my ego than watching Eurovision ever could. Oh! 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 And then you came in.
I did. Hey! And the Scarlets are in hiding! Confirmed by Madsen that they're all scattered and only remnants remain.
This is serious roleplay business. The one does not invalidate the other, sweetheart. Let us assume, for a moment, that there were any Scarlets in hiding in the guild. There aren't, I don't think. How would a few of them remaining by anything other than scattered remnants. There were ties to the Scarlets, largely political, but power sharing is not in Madeline's best interest, so she did her best to re-educate and incorporate these people.
Nice roll.
It's terribly involved, and I wouldn't want to bog you down in details you wouldn't understand, my dear. I'll only say that you need to dig deeper if you want to get to actual dirt. You don't understand. Because you're ignorant.
I think I do. I think you're blinded. Let me offer my rebuttal.
A rebuttal? Sir?
Hey!
Hey!
You're disrespecting the law you're given by power by playing like this.
You're fucking ruining RP for everybody. And then, I respect the law far more than the past 3 expansions have. I will admit that we work at a higher level within the RP than most. No action our characters make invalidates any within the law. I'm rather impressed by that, considering the scope and range that we have. Why? I even heard a collection of sweaty amateurs have taken notice of our accomplishments on the Argent Dawn EU. If we've added a few more layers of perspiration to their so rarely changed undershirts, then all the better. Now, that was a war of words, and I think we can all see that it was very, very involved, okay?
Yes.
The general synopsis is you too thick to understand how deep...
I'm not thick. Hey, I'm Southern. I'm not thick.
She's calling you thick and sweaty, and you have layers of perspiration, okay? This was met by the Argent... This is when it kicked off. Boom! It kicked off royally. This was met by the Argent Side EU having amazing laughs. Amazing laughs.
Amazing.
Pissing themselves. Pissing themselves at such words. Being so bitchy towards my comment. Met by comments such as, the Red Queen has spoken! And finally a royal audience. We were in, wait for it, fits of laughter. Fits of laughter. And then someone said, you can report her for this as it goes against the Forum Code of Conduct with personal and racial attacks.
Boom.
Oh!
Boom.
Oh! Shit! Whoa! To which I was pissing myself at the idea of reporting her. Woo-hoo-hoo! So I did!
Get shanked.
RP shanked. I made a report to her post and left it at that. Send, bitch.
that was about that. Send.
Got you with an email. Some more hatred came towards us. Where was the hatred? So much hatred in what we described then. Some more hatred came towards us, and then suddenly the thread had disappeared. We were mind-boggled that the post she had made had caused the entire guild recruitment thread to be removed. We were feeling absolutely glorious. We loved every moment of it. We filled up that thread. And then a dwarf shaman had readied a post to commemorate this moment. Then it came. The thread that made my day. A moment. Here is an extract.
You've gone massively down there. Oh, it's there, sorry. Come on. Hang about. Hang about. It sounds like
This is very serious.
It's very serious, and
Very
I'm not
serious.
dressed accordingly. So
It's very serious.
So bow your
indeed.
heads.
Bow your heads. May this stand here in memory of Megava, the great hero of Europe and the Argent Dawn, whose identity remains unknown.
He was so young.
He led the charge against the Moon Guard server of Scarlet Queens and Fat Mikes. And our people are ever appreciative of it.
Say it, Reverend.
Our children and our grandchildren will hear of his wild tales, and we shall be the ones to sing them. Let us live on and thrive in the knowledge that generations from now, Argent Dawn will be known as the bull that defeated the Americans despite overwhelming odds. I was laughing at the fact I was being treated like a hero by the Realm forum goers. That's all I can ask.
It's all you, McGaver. Bravo.
More time went on and then the news came that made my day even sweeter. It gets better than the praise of the forums. The GM Ryan had been banned for racial hatred. An undead hunter reported that a friend of his had shown him Ryan's Tumblr account.
Oh, nice. This is good. This is where I like
It
things
went to
go.
Tumblr, people!
This is where I like things
You thought
to go.
it was just the WoW forum.
This is it, yeah.
It went to Tumblr.
Just because you're in a game, you're not safe.
We took it past Twitter. We took it past Facebook, and we went straight to Tumblr.
You know what's good? I'd love to be that guy at the door. That, hey guys, get a load of this, and just open it and let everyone pile in, take a piss on a couch.
We on Argent Dawn dislike the trigger-heavy Tumblr site. Tumblr is not approved by Argent Dawn.
No, sir.
Because it's trigger. It's a hair trigger.
It is.
It's a hair
It is.
trigger.
It could go off any minute.
At any point, it could pop off in Tumblr. It could pop off. Pa, 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 pa. But on there, Ryan had blogged that she had been banned. There was a blog on Tumblr.
Nice.
Victory was even sweeter for Argent Dawn. We could not believe that she had been banned for her comment. I couldn't believe that it had happened either, but after overlooking their Tumblr, there was a quote from the Blizzard email. Reason, Rachel hatred.
Nice.
Date banned, January 11th.
That's really recent.
At 15 minutes past 7 p.m. GMT 20/15. This account has been temporarily suspended from the forums for violating the forum code of conduct. Reason, trolling / hate speech. Duration, 72 hours. Man, I don't know how to feel. It was great. And then reading through it more, someone had posted that they were doing Blizzard a favour by ignoring the last 3 expansions of lore. Nah, the lore was good the last 3. The gameplay was bad. Though, too much Orc has gotten on everyone's nerves of late. I think we can all agree.
I'm not.
They couldn't give a shit.
I'm good, man.
I'm alright. We then got into another thread.
Here we go.
When our hunter friend had paid to join me in trying to make sure people knew in the Americas that this was a bad way to roleplay. Then we began to learn that Wormrest Accord US also weren't fond of the blood of Lordaeron, to which we called to arms on their forums. Unite!
Alright, guys. Let's go. We're needed!
Send in the EU.
The LT.
Yes! We had begun looking for more forum allies. A massive troll that went cross-continental. And then we went to look for allies again, and it worked. One member of Wormrest Accord came in and joined our struggle. A warrior named Vanilla Mage. It got amazingly great, but then the hunter had to go to bed.
War.
But then, I had to go to bed. By the time I'm typing this drama, they are still shit-talking us. 2 members from across the world, rustling the jimmies of an entire guild with about 12 words to start. Get their GM banned for a few days and then get another server involved. Argent Dawn EU isn't a server where unity is always there, but on this day, Argent Dawn EU was united against bad roleplay. We all laugh and continue with our days, and it'll be recorded as one of the biggest drama threads of 2015. Hey, and 2015
It's a bold statement while you're still in January.
has only just begun. We had much drama in 2014, but this one is a different. with our server uniting as one. We weren't taking this as seriously as others may perceive, and you all realised that if you read through it, threads were created about it, stories were told, history was made this day. I've linked the threads below for you to have a look at, and pick through some of the things to read out if you like. I've always wanted to write up a drama for you to read through, and this one was just too good to pass up. Brofist. Boom! The bad RP is real. They are people, so you can...
Go and have a look. There you go.
We salute you, Argent Dawn EU.
Can I just point out...
What would you like to point out, sir?
I love Argent Dawn EU. I've been there several characters, and I've been role-playing. Not as what you'd expect, usually.
Oh, it says page not found.
404.
Page not found. Oh, we got the American ones. Let's try those. Rip link. Maybe the dram was too intense. Ooh. 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 Oh no, this one works. It's 25 pages long! It's 25 pages long!
Wait a minute, don't click on. Let me just check one thing once before. Oh, you bastard.
Sorry, dude.
Someone's got really, like... Look, everyone. A bunch of Europeans being nationalistic snobs. Wow. I'm not even gonna draw the card that I had.
You had a card?
I had a card.
Are you saying America is nationalistic?
I'm saying
That's insane.
that America calling other people for being nationalistic.
That was a bit southern. Patriotic.
It's just like you don't even answer to it. Just sit back, give it a wide eye, and go. Wow.
It's 25 pages long. Let's finish up with an unfortunate start to WoW. Because there's a scumbag in here. That could be you.
Why am I always a fucking scumbag? I'm a really nice...
Right, do you want to pick some names then?
Yes. Talk to me. Who's the guy who's gotten what you come on,
Oh, this guy's just called Judo Guy. Do you want to be that guy?
Kyo!
Hey! Forget about it!
Come here.
I love that. That is the best part of Napoleon Dynamite is Rex Kwando.
No, I wasn't doing Rex Kwando.
I know, I'm just saying that is the best part of the film. Forget about it.
Try to kick me.
Not there.
Yeah.
Right, pick some names for you, Druid.
A druid. Tatra.
Tetra Druid. Hunter. Who's a scumbag? Who's the scumbag?
Riley Cool.
That is a scumbag name.
That is a scumbag name.
I'm so cool, I'm Riley Cool. Yeah? And who's Rex Kwando?
Megadog.
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 Yeah, Megadog, Rex Kwando. That's it, that's the name, it's done. Megadog. Can I call it Megadog? Not Megadoge. Right. It's a shortish one, which is good. Alright. Let's go. My story starts off in vanilla. I was 10. Oh, naughty. I was 10 years old and played Warcraft 3 every day after I came home from school, often with my best buddy, who helped me through the story and explained the smaller aspects of the game, since my English sucked balls. When WoW launched, I wasn't aware that it was from the same company that made Warcraft. World of Warcraft. So naturally, I ignored it. I love Warcraft 3. You want to play World of Warcraft? Whoa, whoa, whoa! Not for me. No, sir.
It's a bit of a rip-off, isn't it?
That's a bit of a rip. Bit of a rip. Don't want to do it. My friend, on the other hand, bought it instantly and kept telling me how amazing it is and that I should get my hands on it. I was sceptical as I still had not finished Warcraft 3 and really enjoyed it, which meant I didn't feel the urge to go out of my way and spend my hard-earned money on another game. He kept freaking out about the different classes. The fact that he played a druid that became a bear. Caps lock, a freaking bear. Do you know one of the things my brother tried to tell me to get me into Warcraft? Shamans could walk on water. And then he seriously went like, fucking Jesus. That's what he said to me. I'm serious. I remember him telling me about Warcraft. He's like, fuck, he's got this class called Shamans. They can walk on water. Like fucking Jesus.
Like Jesus.
Like Jesus.
Hey, the queue of women want to kiss this shaman because he's like Jesus. He's like this.
It's lengthy. But apparently he's always stood on water and they can't get to him. It's a real bummer. He kept exaggerating the other classes, the races, the world, to the point that the game sounded like God's gift to mankind to my ears. Me, being the spoiled 10-year-old brat I was, instantly wanted the game more than anything in the world. I kept following my friend. Who's the friend? Tetra? I kept following Tetra home after school just to watch him play the game. It looked amazing. He strolled around Westfall on his level 14 Night Elf. Ooh. He wasn't questing, though, as he forgot about them at some point while travelling across the world and just kept killing harvest golems. Golem going down. I kept doing this every day until I'd saved up the money to buy the game and time. It took about a month. Finally, at the game store in our local mall, I grabbed a copy of the game and went up to the counter. Excited to finally play it for myself, I placed it proudly on the desk along with the cash swag money. The guy who works at the store then asked if I had ID to verify my age. I came prepared though, as I was kind of regular at the store, coming in about once every 3 days to stare at the new games. Oh, I miss doing that. Going on the Steam front page is nowhere near as good as going in and like picking up the copies and looking at the back and the descriptions and all that shit. We used to do that all the time.
We did
We used to do that until about 29 years old.
It was actually our New Year's resolution to stop doing
Yeah,
that.
knowing that I couldn't possibly buy them. I thought they would cut me some slack, because they surely must remember me. They did. You're that underage kid who keeps going in. Totally remember you.
Yeah, that's why I
Yeah,
you.
I totally know who you are. They did, and asked me to call my parents to verify I could buy the game, even though I was technically too young. I have this in the bag. I remember thinking to myself as I had gone through this process many times before and been allowed to buy the game. This time was different, though. Do you want to read why?
Eh?
Do you want to read why?
Because my mum had actually heard about WoW's payment method and was firmly against it.
Mum, can I buy this game? No. You know why? Because I'm not a shit mum. I know exactly what that game is.
Exactly.
Oh, that's going to be my son. He's like,
Exactly.
Dad, can I play this game? And go, no, you can't. You know why? Because it's a piece of shit. That's why. It's a shit game. It's a shit game. Get out of it. Nope. Devastated. I walked home empty-handed and phoned my friend, Tetra, who had been waiting for me to buy the game so we could play together. I told him the news and he was almost more annoyed by this than me, seeing as he looked forward to the adventure that was ahead of us. He got an idea. A brilliant idea. It's a good idea when you... It's so easy to get around parental blocks, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
It is. Mum won't let me buy the game. Will you buy the game for me? Yes. I would install the game using his CDs, compact discs, peasant, and play on his account when he wasn't. Oh God, that's the worst plan ever. That's not a plan.
You don't want to do
That's
that.
a bad plan.
You don't. In fairness, though, that's how we started. I played on.
Yeah,
your
but I was
account.
on holiday. That worked.
It's true.
I wasn't in the country. I could do that. I couldn't even make my own character. Oh, these rules. As long as I leveled his druid
Nice. Well played.
half a level every time I logged in, I'll make you a deal.
Hey,
Hey, come see Uncle Tetra. I'll fix you up. I fix you up real nice. I fix you up real nice.
but he's dead nice about it. Can make a new character. Whoa, you can't do that.
Oh, hey, it's my car.
Hey, you can do
Know
something
the rules.
better.
Yeah.
You do something
Let me tell
better.
you, you don't want to start from fresh. Those first levels really tough.
Yeah.
What we're gonna do is a little plan.
Yeah.
Little plan for you. Little plan. As long as I leveled his druid half a level every time I logged in, I liked it. And killed tigers in Stranglethorn happily in order to play my Night Elf Hunter. What? Oh! We read that completely wrong. I could make my character as long as he leveled his druid half a level every time he logged in. That was the deal. That's so much worse.
You can make a new character, but you have to level my druid
Yeah.
for half a level.
Every time you log in. So if you
If-
crash, that counts as a new time.
If he pulled that off, bravo.
Brava.
Brava.
Brava. Brava. We kept on going for about 2 or 3 weeks until he got an offer from a guy in his class in school who had actually taken an inactive WoW count from a guy in his judo class. Oh, this is judo guy. From Megadog. Megadog's going to make a deal. And suggested to give it to me, seeing as it was already preloaded with, from what I remember, 8 months of game time, and didn't require me to buy any, meaning my parents had no problem with it. I gladly accepted the account and made it my own. I instantly made a Nelf Hunter and made it to level 15 before I got bored of it. Since I already leveled a Hunter previously on my friend's account, decided, let's re-roll. I did this a couple of occasions. Always made a new character, mostly gnomes. for some reason. Just this
I
vast
like
collection
gnomes.
of gnomes. I would be a gnome rogue instantly.
No, gnome caster.
I was a gnome caster. My first character for Method was a gnome warlock.
Well done, mate.
My first character was a gnome warlock, and then they
See?
transferred to Horde, and that was a sad time.
I'm right.
Got into Westfall and did Dead Mines a few times, even though the time to acquire a group was painful. Afterwards, I got tired of this character as I didn't know what to do after Westfall, and Duskwood looked scary. Nope. Across that bridge. I remember the bridge.
I went across the water.
Why don't you go across the bridge? It's so much scarier if you go across the bridge. Because you go out of Westfall, which is like autumny. It's got an autumnal feel.
Yeah.
And you go across and then you go over the bridge into Duskwood and it gets really freaking creepy.
It does it when you go over the water.
No, it doesn't.
South of
You're not
Goldshire.
fucking supposed to go
Right.
through the water. You're supposed to go over the bridge.
Shut up. South of Goldshire, where the little lake thing is, you walk across that water. The second you cross over the water, it's just like zoom.
Should have gone. It's too spooky. It's
You know,
too spooky.
you know it takes bridges, mate. Casuals.
Bridges are so casual. Oh, what are you, casual taking the bridge? By the time the Burning Crusade rolled in, I had about 7 level 20 to 22 characters who had never ventured outside of Westfall. My friend, who I had been begging to help me, was busy raiding on his 60 druid, so TBC was amazing for me. I got someone to buy me the expansion and made a male Draenei priest. Okay, I'm fine. Which I quested through their shitty starting area alongside our hunter friend. That is the shittiest starting area in the game.
I've never done it.
It's so bad.
I've done it once, sorry.
I did it once. The Exodar is so bad. We got to level 8 and then started telling me to buff him. Oh, to buff him through MSN while on a slay this many things quest. Me, who had only been playing Dead Mines, had also got boosted through it at plenty of occasions by level 60s. I knew what the word boosted and confused it with the word buff. Seeing as I was sweet, young and dumb, and fairly new to the internet, I did not know many words. Hold on. Got a message. No. We're going out.
1 sec. I want to just add a little bit. Just writing on it now.
What are you, at school? A yes-no box? Why would you put a yes-no box?
I just put the X in the box.
You're ruining my immersion of the Swee story, okay? I knew the word boosted, confused it with the word buff. As I was Swee, I didn't know many words. Many English words, right? Many English words. And off I had to check in with my friend when someone said something like WTF or OMG. Because I had no idea what these letters meant. What would you say?
What?
What on that frog?
WTF.
Watch that frog. What would you say if someone was like, what does OMG stand for? And you were a kid.
Come back to me.
Come back to me. I'm on the spur of the moment.
I'm going in the think tank.
This one I was certain of, though, and rushed in before him and tried my best to boost him through the quest. He kept asking me more and more agitated, do you know what buff means? Of course, I've been buffed many times in the Dead Mines. It's not my first time you get buffed, you know. This process of questions and answers kept on going. After about 30 minutes of boosting my friend through the area, he shouted at me, "You're so fucking stupid! You don't even deserve this account!" and logged off. Buff me. Going! I was terrified that he would take the account back. So I quickly also logged out and changed the password and email with my parents' help before they removed him from the friends list. Ah! It's gonna kill me. It turned out that he was actually going to take his account back just so that I wouldn't have it, but was just a bit too slow to change the information. He had to get his dad with his readers. All right, son.
Here we go.
Here we go. What do you need, son?
Put that big light on.
Interwebs. I never spoke to him again. Exodar. Motherfucking Exodar, yeah? This is like the hood around there. And finally got the courage to level through Duskwood. Hit the forward key. You ready?
Like Cleveland Brown.
Still on the bridge.
No.
No. I'm in.
In fairness,
And then he got the quest to go to the cemetery.
Oh god, is this guy? Is this the 10-year-old guy?
Yeah.
I can relate. I did that in Resident Evil.
What area?
Resident Evil 1 and 2, spiders.
Yeah, but you had to look to shoot.
I had my brother get me out of those areas.
He's so bad with
I can't
games.
even look at him these days.
He's so bad with games.
Why? Because
Yeah,
I don't
that
like
would've-
spiders.
No, him. Your brother's so bad with video games. That must have been torture.
My brother doesn't know the difference between his elbow and his arsehole.
I never spoke to him again. And finally, we got the courage to go through Duskwood. You alright? I made many new alts and leveled them to around 30 this time.
Nice.
Now
Well
I
played.
can do Duskwood,
Well played.
but eventually turned to the warrior and hit the cap. I'm currently playing a combat rogue and having a great time in WoW. Still playing on the same account, and I've just finished Heroic Highmaul.
Well played, sir. Well played.
Thanks for reading my story. It was fun to relive this and story. Sorry in advance if my English was Swedish. It was very Swedish.
If my